How's it going, YouTube? It's Sean here, and I am back today to give you guys a review of the Nike LeBron 16 in the fresh Bred colorway. This shoe being the 16th signature sneaker of NBA superstar LeBron James, originally dropped on September 20th for $185 US or $245 here in Canada. The official colorway for this shoe is simply black and university red. So I originally picked these up on the release date, but I had to wait a few weeks to get some playing time and some experience in this shoe to give you guys a proper review. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the shoe. So the upper, as you can see, this is constructed what Nike's calling Battle Knit 2.0. So building upon the LeBron 15 that first utilized Battle Knit, this year's version feels much stronger without sacrificing the flexibility. Underneath the knit, we have a layer of nylon, so this gives it added durability. So I'm really feeling the look of this. As you can see, underneath in certain angles, you can really see that red shining through, and overall it gives off a very dope effect. The laces in this case is a flat style lace in black, and they lace through the flywire cables which are located on the tongue. Speaking about the tongue, so unlike the LeBron 15 where it had that one-piece sock-like fit, in this case the tongue is a bit more like a traditional tongue and it can expand and retract into the shoe. It's constructed out of black nubuck. We have the number 23 embossed in the center, and at the very top we have both LeBron James signature as well as the LeBron James logo done in black and red. Taking a look near the rear of the medial side, here we have a black Nike swoosh. This is embroidered directly into the battle knit. Along the back heel, we have this triangular overlay of nubuck. On the lateral side, we have this plastic Nike swoosh. And then right in the center, we have this lion graphic with these piercing red eyes. The nubuck itself loops up and around and forms a heel pull tab. So the insoles on these LeBron 16s is actually pretty padded. Once again, we have this lion graphic along with the number 16 on the heel in red. So the upper of these LeBron 16s sits atop this black colored foam midsole. Underneath this, you can see we have this articulated Max Zoom Air. So this shoe once again builds upon the LeBron 15, except this time the cushioning setup is tweaked just a bit. So Max Zoom Air, as the name suggests, is a combination of Max Air and Zoom Air. The difference between this year's version and last year's version is that the cushioning on the 16s is tuned in such a way that it feels much more stable and much more responsive. So I found that the 15s, while very comfortable straight out of the box, it was a little soft. So if you're on the court and you're making cuts and you want your shoe to give you much quicker feedback as opposed to simply sinking into the shoe's cushion, then you're gonna like these 16s much more. With that said, however, straight out of the box, the cushioning setup is a little bit stiff, and it does require some break-in time to really activate and feel this cushioning underneath your feet. And for me, after wearing these for a number of times, I feel like this cushioning is very well rounded. It's neither too stiff or too soft. In terms of a flexibility standpoint, so because this is articulated, meaning there are 3 distinct pods, forefoot, midfoot, and bottom heel, the cushioning itself will flex with your foot pretty well. Turning these over to the bottom, so here is your outsole. So as you can see, this is primarily constructed out of a very thick black rubber. The traction pattern is very deep and has this wave-like pattern to it. At the top of the shoe, we have this red colored LeBron logo, and at the bottom heel, we have the Dunkman logo. So traction is definitely one of the strong suits about this shoe. I'd say that it's even better than the 15s, and because of the way the traction is where the grooves are very thick and the rubber is somewhat stiff, this would actually make this shoe pretty decent for outdoor wear as well. In addition, where the 15s felt a little bit unstable, and personally at times I felt like I was a little bit too high off the ground, for the 16s I definitely feel lower to the ground, and with the introduction of these small outriggers on the lateral side of the pods themselves, you definitely feel much more stable and much more supported. From a sizing standpoint, so my feet measures as a true size 10, slightly on the wider side. Typically, I go with size 10.5 in most of my Nike basketball sneakers, including the Kyrie line and most of my Kobe's as well. For both the LeBron 15 and 16, I picked them up in a size 10, and I'd say that while the LeBron 16s fit true to size, they ran a little bit shorter than I expected, so as a result, they felt a little bit squished around the toe. The 15s by comparison were much roomier than the 16s, but with that said, the more I wore them in, the better they felt. So overall, I'd recommend sticking true to size, and I'll say that once you do break them in, they definitely fit much better. From a quality standpoint, so I was a little bit disappointed with this. Specifically the nubuck found on the tongue and the back heel, it definitely wasn't a premium finish, but it also wasn't terrible by any means. So with all that being said, now let me lace up these LeBron 16s and show you guys how these look on feet. So traditionally, based on my past experience, I usually recommend LeBrons for players that are looking for more impact protection, as opposed to quicker guards that are looking for a more responsive and low to the ground feeling shoe. However, I gotta say that these LeBron 16s definitely does a good job building upon the LeBron 15s, and I feel like these shoes are much more well-rounded and no longer exclusive to power players only. Based on what I like from ball shoes though, I wouldn't say that this is a perfect sneaker by any means, but really at the end of the day, it's just personal preference. I'm generally more of a fan of the Kyrie line or the Kobe line, where I really have that low to the ground feel and excellent traction because I personally am not an aerial or power type player. But from an unbiased standpoint, I can say that this shoe is a very well-performing sneaker. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of these fresh bred LeBron 16s. If you guys like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Give me a follow on Instagram at esco8, check out my Twitter at sean.go, and be sure to check out my website at seango.ca. So until next time, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hopefully you guys found this video somewhat helpful, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.